Somebody else will show.
Good morning, residents of LPG. We want to welcome you to this.
No, we don't hear it.
No, you don't hear it?
No volume.
Hang on. Hello? Okay, thank you. Welcome to the first open meeting of the LPG Residents Association since March. Yay! We want to thank you all for showing up. We are pleased to have a small audience, but hopefully we have a larger audience out there in La La Land, wherever that is. But we are now stepping with both feet into this technological age, as you can tell. We're being live streamed on YouTube, and the recording will be posted up for those who subscribe to this YouTube channel. You'll be able to see the meeting afterwards. So if you have friends that couldn't make it to the meeting, let them know, let them subscribe to the channel, and then they could see the recorded portion of the meeting. So thanks to LPG management for helping us make this happen. They have provided, thank you. They have provided all the equipment, and we have volunteers helping us with the cameras, the sound, everything else. So we really appreciate that management has been supportive of this endeavor. And I think that the plan is to use the channel to let residents know of other activities and live stream or record some of those activities that some of us just can't get out to attend because of the COVID, because numbers are limited and, we may be compromised health-wise. So that would be a good opportunity for people still to stay in touch and know what's happening within the community. I want to thank Larry Smith. He's our technology guru, and he has set all this up and has some helpers back there, but Larry's the main guy behind this effort. So Larry, thank you so much. So because this is our first foray into this type of activity, there may be a few glitches, especially for those folks at home. We want you to know that, if you see a few glitches, please don't give us a thumbs down because we're working to fix everything. If you have a question or a comment during this meeting, we're going to ask you to come up to this microphone. We had an opportunity for 2 cameras, so you wouldn't have to come all the way this far, but there's a glitch. So we're going to ask you please to do that so that people at home can see you and they can also hear you speaking into the microphone. So we would ask you to do that. That is it. Please raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll, have you come forward. And now let's get started. So I want to call this meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We've started a little tradition of a moment of inspiration, and our second Vice President, Sharon Hauser, has that moment for us.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Due to all of the upheaval that's going on in our lives and our country right now, I try very hard to be inspired by others. And this is my gift to you all. Every time you smile at someone, it's a gift to that person. So smile. And one more. Peace begins with a smile. Spread love everywhere you go. Thank you.
I didn't see anybody smiling.
Well, make your eyes wiggle or something when you're going to smile. The other thing, tradition that we started and had to end back in March was a 50-50 during the meeting. As you know, we don't charge dues for the resident association. We have no way to raise money. So we're doing this little 50-50. And Pam Williams has graciously volunteered with her arm, twisted a little, to sell the tickets. So if you didn't get one, they're $1 per ticket or 3 tickets for $2. So you'd have a big chance to win. Ooh, let me see how many dollars. I don't know, but it'll be something. You could go get a treat. The other thing we're just starting is if you attend the meeting, we have some door prizes to give out. Cost you nothing. Dave is going to give each one of you a ticket, and you have to be here though to win. So you have to stay till the end of the meeting. We hope you'll stay. So Dave's coming around. Oh, Bob, stop that. So we're going to give each of you a door prize ticket, and then at the end, Sharon is going to award the door prizes. Okay? So thank you. So a piece of business. The last minutes we had were from our meeting on March the 5th. They're posted up on our website. And by the way, have you checked out the new website? It is pretty awesome. We had a wonderful young man whose mom lives in the community do that work for us. And it's in color, it has photographs, and we have all our minutes posted there. So we dispense with reading those minutes during the meeting. So I would ask now for a motion to accept the March 5th minutes as posted on the website. Perfect, thank you. And a second to that? Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. And then a treasurer's report. Walt Smiles is a winter visitor, but he's our treasurer. He's watching at home from Michigan. Hey, Walt. Hey, Lesta. Everybody's waving. The balance in the treasury as of March the 10th, which was our last meeting, was $364.40. We paid out $30.35 for a gift for Tom Belshon. Tom's not in the park anymore. He moved out, but he was our webmaster for a long, long time, and he served on the board for a long time. So we bought a little gift for him and sent that to his new address. So that means our balance as of yesterday, 9/30/20, was $334.05. So I would just have a motion to accept that report as presented. Thank you. In a second. Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, thank you. Old business. Okay, the first thing before I get to the open items list, which if you haven't been to our meetings, we have an Excel spreadsheet. And every time you send us a concern, a complaint, a compliment that we take up with management at the open meeting, I give you a report on what has happened, what has closed, what is still pending. But before I do that, Dave Eason is going to read us a list of accomplishments. We feel like we did we created a number of positive responses within the community over the last year. And our year runs from December 1st to the end of November. And in November, we have our elections, but I'll talk about that some more. But Dave, would you read those accomplishments? Thank you.
I will. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is actually more than we were expecting. We were afraid nobody was going to show up on our first meeting back. Okay, we've got 2 sections. Can you hear me or am I too loud? I usually get too loud. We have 2 sections. We have completed projects that we've already completed, and we've got others that are in the works, okay? So the first ones I'm going to read are the ones that were completed. Under health and safety, we created no smoking in the pool areas. These were all requests of residents. Residents started the request, and then the board took it to the management group to have these things taken care of. So that was approved. There's no smoking signs now throughout the pool area. In the area of speeding, that's never an issue in this community. We noticed that there was only one speed limit sign in the entire community, and that was coming in the front gate. And it wasn't reflective, so nobody would see it at night either. So we've added several more speed limit signs, and they are reflective, so you'll see them at night. White lines at stop sign locations. You may have noticed the first one that was put in the wrong place out front here. That's been fixed now. Phase one of that is complete because what we agreed to is as Thesman would repave the streets in those sections, they would put the white lines in. So phase one is complete. Phase 2 and 3 will be completed during those recoding periods. Under parking issues and congestion, Thesman, I can't think of the group. Sorry, the activities group has now started telling vendors when they come here for events or when the people come for concerts, once they've unloaded their trucks to move them. So that won't take up several parking spots out front. They're also requesting visitors to carpool during game tournament events. So like we have the shuffleboard, the people that are heading that up are telling people, we need you to carpool. Under communications, we've got the development of the request, comment, and compliment form, which Margaret talked about previously. What this does is allows us to illustrate the quantity of the concerns. We don't share names or your comments whatsoever with management, but when we sit down and have a meeting, we have several copies of the same concern. It gets their attention, okay? We created a new website. How many here have actually gone on to the new website? Show of hands. All right, good. What do you think of it?
Very nice.
Yeah, much better than what we had before. So it was something that we've been wanting to do for some time now. And we finally got somebody to help us with that. And watch it, it'll continue to grow with new stuff on it all the time. Monthly LPGRA article within the Thesman Lifestyles newspaper. That's something new that Margaret was able to get. We were never included, if you will, in that. And now there's an article every month, thanks to Margaret who writes that. Peggy audited and enhanced our email listing. Who here is receiving emails from us? With a show of hands. Actually, I should say, who isn't? Okay, there's still a few of you. Please get your email address to us either in person today or send it to our email address. But Peggy will get that. I think you're the one putting them on there now, right? We'll get that your name on there. What we found was the previous person that was in charge of that had made some typos. So people that we were thinking were getting it aren't getting it. And there's a lot of people that aren't on it. So that's how we communicate to you, is through that email. So get your email on there and tell your neighbors to do the same, okay? Under community relations, we've got improved customer service at the front office. How many people have noticed in the last 2 or 3 months the front office is smiling again? I think we owe much of that to our new manager, Christy, but it's become a much nicer environment for us. So that's good news. And in line with that, we've improved resident, board member, and LPG management interactions. When we sit down and have our board meetings with them, they're very open to our suggestions. And if it's something they can't do, they're very open to make us understand why they can't do it. And they're also open that if we disagree with that, we can have a debate over it, okay? So we have a very open relationship with them now. She's also started, she being Christy, introducing her staff members. Most of us, even us on the board, didn't know who was in the front office. We didn't know the names of anybody. So Christy has been doing that and will continue to do that. New street name signs throughout the community. That may be something you hadn't even noticed because nobody looks at street signs anymore. But a lot of the people and visitors couldn't see them at night because they were no longer reflective. And then it got to the point where the sun was bleaching them out. You couldn't even see them in the day. So every street sign in the community was replaced. The American flag out front, the light fixture that was on it was kind of an unstable one. And anytime we'd have wind blowing or a coyote sneaking through the bushes, it would knock the light over. And the flag wasn't lit. Well, they've put in a much sturdier one now. I don't know if you've noticed or not. So our American flag out front is now well lit. The dog parks. We've added double gates at the dog park entrances. Some people were wondering, why did you do that? It's too much trouble to have to go through two gates. Well, it's much safer for residents and their dogs when you have a two-gate environment. It's like any petting zoo. You go in the first gate, you close the gate behind you, you then go into the next gate. So we've had that added. A resident had requested fly traps be added in the dog parks because a lot of the dog park people were paying for fly traps. I don't know why we have flies in a dog park, but we talked to Christy about that, and she agreed and has been providing the fly traps every week for us in the dog park. It's made a big difference. They've also improved the attention to the quality of the grass. Now, right now it looks terrible because all the grass does. They've cut it down for planting the winter rye. But this summer has been about the best we've seen as far as the grass in the dog parks. Now, the items, I'm losing my voice already. The items in the in-work section, under safety, the revitalization of the Neighborhood Watch program. Unfortunately, Peggy, who has stepped up and volunteered to head up that, couldn't make it here today. Oh, she is here. I'm sorry. I couldn't see you. That blouse wasn't bright enough. So Peggy is here. Okay, good. I won't say anything more about that. Addition of security cameras at community entrances. Thesman has agreed to do that. Mike has made arrangements for bidding process. It's my understanding. Is it finished? No. It's not finished yet. Okay. But anyway, they've agreed to do so. Securing of Guadalupe and Stephen Pollard. Does everybody know what Stephen Pollard Gate is? It's the old Medina, okay? And I was corrected the last time we had the police department here for our meeting that it's no longer Medina. So it's Stephen Pollard. Stephen Pollard was an officer of the Mesa Police Department that was killed in action. So they named the street after him. Those gates are now secured, both entrance and exit, from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. to hopefully deter people trying to sneak out of the community with our property. Under communications, we've already talked quite a bit about the live streaming. We're excited about that because you don't necessarily have to come and expose yourself to people here. You can stay home. Now, will that also be recorded so that they can see it later?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So even if you miss it on that day, there's a lot of people here, believe it or not, that still work. So they'll be able to see it. Another thing that's in the work is a monthly newsletter. I can't think of the lady's name that stepped up. Shirley Ann Crane. Okay, has stepped up and is going to help us with a monthly newsletter, similar to what the newspaper is for Thesman, probably on a much smaller scale. Community relations. We're scheduling a community shredding day planned for spring of 2021. It'll probably be sometime right around tax time so you can get rid of all those tax documents. We've also requested and they have approved a more visible clock in the pool area, because quite often when you're in the pool area and you wear glasses for distance, you don't wear them in the pool, you can't see the clock. I have no problem seeing the clock, but a lot of people do. And so we've requested something that's more visible to be seen there. And the final thing is the new LPG board elections for November 2020. And I think we're going to introduce the people that will be running, and next month we're actually going to have the elections. So any questions? Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Dave. I'm pretty proud of what this board has accomplished over the last year. And that's because of your help. By you giving us your concerns in writing, we were able to substantiate in front of management that here are the things the community is concerned about. It's not just one person complaining. We have, this many complaints. So we've had a lot of response, and as you can tell from Dave's report, a lot of things got accomplished over the last year. So I'm pretty pleased with that. So here's the open items list that I mentioned. It's an Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to give you just a little update. I'm not going to go over every single one. Dave addressed some of them. But we talked about those white lines. And as Dave mentioned, every time they slurry the streets, the white lines will be painted in those new locations. So they didn't want to paint them all this year and then next year paint, slurry over. And then this way, the white lines will last like 3 cycles. So I felt like that was, a really good improvement. On the safety, one of the things I want to mention, and Peggy Gabbert may address this, I'm not sure, but winter visitors or anyone who's traveling outside of the community for a month or more should really fill out the form at the front office to tell the office that you're gone. And that way, more attention can be paid to your vacant property. So a lot of people leave for the summer and never fill out the form, never let management know that they're not here. So we would encourage you to do that. And also, if you notice suspicious activity, call Mesa PD first. The office can't do anything. The security guards can't do anything. Mesa PD will respond to any kind of, I saw somebody sneaking over the fence. I saw somebody at my neighbor's house and they're not here for the summer. So call Mesa PD first if you can remember that, okay? The security gates that Dave alluded to, the bids have gone out, but the problem is the logistics. So when the cameras are recording, is there going to be a TV at the guard shack? We're working on that. Will there be a TV, in the front office? Will Christy get notified on her phone that the camera has picked up something? They're working out those logistics so that the cameras aren't just sitting up there and nobody's paying attention to them. The cameras for the green waste area have been received. It's possible that this whole project will be put off till next year because the budget this year has been hit severely with all, other pieces of equipment. So based on the budget, the cameras at the green waste may be put off for a bit. Okay, then we had some complaints about visitors to the pool. And what is the protocol? What should we do? One of the things that Christy has instructed the guards, if you see non-residents in the pool after the front office is closed, the guards have been instructed that if we call and tell them that, they should shut the gate and they should come down and investigate that and ask the people to leave if that's appropriate. During the day or when the office is open, you're to call the office or let the office know. They will then come out and address the people who are non-residents using the pool. So after hours and during office hours are 2 different protocols, and the guards have been instructed. The back pool gate was opened because they finally got a sanitizing station out there, but it was closed during that time. And we brought up the fact that it was a safety issue. If someone were ill and the paramedics had to come, that gate was locked and it would be an impediment to getting help through that gate. So now it's open. There's a hand sanitizing station there, as you can tell. What else? Okay, locks on the pool gates. Remember, we had had this one episode where the locks were there and you had to use a key to get out. Well, that project has been abandoned for the moment until they could figure out a way to really have the gates work appropriately so people can get in and out, use their keys or a key card. Several options are being considered. So that project is on hold for just a little bit. The clock is received. It's been turned over to Christy. She's getting approval for the placement of the clock because if you notice out at the portico there, it's narrow. And to put a large clock there is going to be difficult. So they're looking at placement of that clock, but that should be happening very shortly. We talked about parking during events, the shredding day, the bollard lights. We still get notification that some bollard lights are not being taken care of. 150 of the non-compliant ones have been completed by LPG, and the homeowners have been billed for those services. 50 are pending actions. They've been notified that their lights are out of compliance, and according to the rules, management has to wait for a response from those people. They give them X number of days to finish, and if not, then the management will send we have a couple of volunteers in the park that are doing that, painting the lights and changing the glass. Landscaping. You can ask your questions at the end. Thank you. Landscaping. Throughout the community, the landscaping has been looking pretty sad. Your own yard might be looking pretty sad. The city of Mesa landscaping is looking pretty sad. The whole state of Arizona, where there hasn't been any rain for how many months, is looking sad. Replanting efforts had started, but even those plants had died as well. So as soon as the temps fall below 100 degrees consistently, then they'll replace the landscaping. And you notice the queen palms are one of those, really hard hit. Canceled events by activities. Some, in the beginning of this closure, some people did receive their money back for some activities. Some still have not been refunded because they're trying to reschedule some. And if they can't be rescheduled, then those refunds will be made. So when the office is fully open, they're going to try to figure out, I don't think they can give everybody cash back because that would be a record-keeping nightmare. You may get a credit on your monthly bill. We don't know yet, but that's that's looked at in the process. And what else? Okay, just a short FYI on staff wearing masks. Oh, sorry about that. Especially real estate. Under these pandemic rules, all the real estate salespeople must wear their mask and wear gloves. When a visitor is visiting a property, they must wear their mask and they may not open a drawer, a door, or handle anything within that property. That has come directly from Michael Thesman. And all salespeople have been instructed and counseled to adhere to those rules. So if you're contemplating selling your house and you're concerned about people coming in or out, they have to have a mask and they have to not touch anything. The salesperson with their gloves are the only ones who can touch anything. Okay, so that's what I have on the open items list. And out of this meeting and the things that are still open, we'll discuss those next Thursday with management. And then at our next meeting, we'll give you a report on what has been closed and what is still pending and the reasons that those things are still pending. Okay. Somebody had a question on the report. Do you want to come up to the microphone, please? No, I know you don't, but.
I'm Pam.
Oh, that was quick. Okay, Pam, thank you. Okay, so under new business, we've mentioned, oh, you know what, first? I want to skip down because Peggy Gabbert is here. She's heading the revitalization of the Neighborhood Watch, and I know she's moving, and her time is limited. So Peggy, do you want to address that now? Or yeah, no, that's fine. Why don't you do that? And you can come up right here, okay?
I'd say good morning, but I think that's already been done. I'm here to put a face to the revitalization of the Neighborhood Watch program at LPG. First and foremost, I want everybody to understand the program won't be successful unless we get enough volunteers. The responsibilities of the section captains are still being drawn up. Mostly the motto for our program is listen with your ears, see with your eyes, and feel and think with your heart. We have a number of residents, snowbirds, who may or may not be returning this year. And this is our community. Management manages the community, but we live here. We've chosen to live here. We need to make sure that people are listening, looking, and reporting any suspicious activity. We are not police officers. We are not law enforcement, but we are the residents who make up this community, and we need to care about those who are here as well as those who aren't. The program is being planned. It's still in progress. Unfortunately, I am moving within the community, so I haven't paid a lot of attention to it right now. But in the next few weeks, I will be meeting with the management to set up some meetings with volunteers. So far, we have 31 volunteers, and some of them are couples, so, you know, maybe more than that. But we still have sections of the park. This is a very large park. We still have sections of the park where we have nobody who has expressed an interest in. So for the captains this time around, it may be that their area is going to be a little larger. Mostly what it is just keeping your eyes and ears open, remembering that there are people who aren't here. This is their community also. They're paying just like we are, whether they're here or not. Las Palmas Grand there's a reason why it's grand, because it is grand. I moved here from Santan Valley a couple of years ago and have never for an instant regretted this move. People here are friendly. People here want their community to be successful as a community, which is one of the reasons why I have decided to try to revitalize the Neighborhood Watch program. One of my friends' houses was broken into and vandalized, and that was what pushed me to say, we need help, and it's not the administration's job to do this. It is our job to do it. So if there is anybody here who would like to volunteer or or knows of somebody who might be interested, please pass the word along. I think there was a flyer that was put out someplace that has my name and phone number and email address on it. If you don't have that or have not seen that, there are flyers in the mailroom, so please pick one up. And if you are interested in joining this group, please give me a call. Like I said, this is our community. We need to care, we need to share, we need to protect, and that's what this program is all about. So thank you for listening. As soon as I have more details, I'll pass them along to Walt Smiles, who is the representative for the LPGRA, to work with me to communicate this to the entire community. Thank you for listening, and like I said, if anybody wants to volunteer out there, please do. I need probably 10 to 15 more people to cover this entire community. So it's not a tremendously time thing. It's just feeling. It's just feeling. It's making sure that we care about those who are here and those who aren't here and protecting our safety and the safety of our homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Meg.
Thanks, Peggy. We really appreciate that you've stepped up and, have taken leadership on Neighborhood Watch. So thank you so much. You can check the email that I sent out talked about Peggy and her role. I think the lifestyles that's coming out today, my article in there also mentions Neighborhood Watch, and I believe it has Peggy's contact information. If you don't get that, there is a flyer posted out in the mailroom for you to double check. And if you need anything further, you can contact one of us and we'll put you in touch with Peggy. Okay? Great. Thank you for showing up, in the midst of moving. It's a difficult thing. Thank you. Okay, so election of the new board. Board terms are every 2 years. Last year, we had an unusual situation where we had 3 of our board members run for 1 year and 2 of them selected for 2 years. It was because of the way the rotations fell out of rotation, a couple of years prior to that. So we have 3 vacancies this year. And I have 3 candidates who have stepped up, and I'm going to introduce them. One thing I want you to know, I think I put on the tables, or we did, a list of the officers that are selected by the board, and then the committees, standing committees and other committees that we'd like to engage with the community. Now, one thing I do have to make really clear, when you vote next month, you're not voting for the president, the secretary, the treasurer. You're voting for 3 people to fill the board positions. When those 5 people, the board, meet at the end of November, they will select among themselves who will be the president, who will be the treasurer. It's like any other nonprofit that you might have belonged to over time. You don't vote for those officers, you vote for members of the board, and the board self-selects who will be president, secretary, vice president, treasurer. So I want to be clear, because last year there was a lot of confusion and a lot of misinformation that went out about the election. So I just want to be clear on that. Okay, each of these 3 vacancies will serve for 2 years. So they'll be selected this year and they'll have a 2-year term. Next November, the 2 people who were this community and this association, that you will step up and fill those seats as they become vacant, because your information, your input, your experiences go a long way to making the board successful and making our interactions with the management successful. And one thing I forgot to mention, we have 25, I believe, viewers on the YouTube channel right now. Wow. So thank you, 25. That's great. Okay, so I want to introduce the 3 candidates, and I'm just introducing them in the order that they filed their candidate questionnaire. So, Peggy Marcone. Peggy's currently our secretary, but her term is expiring. You need to tell people why you want to run for the board. Please.
I ran last year after Margaret twisted my arm so hard it almost broke. I wanted nothing to do with this because I had heard tales of what it was like. And I am so very thankful that she convinced me that I should run. I have truly enjoyed working with the members of the board this past year, and also with management. Things have just improved so much that it really, I'll be honest, I look forward to the meetings. My whole purpose was because I love it here. I agree with Peggy. This place is fantastic. Before Joe and I moved here, we looked at 50 different communities, and LPG came out hands down number 1. So my purpose was I wanted everybody to enjoy life here as much as I do, and I'll do anything I can to help you enjoy your life at LPG. It's a wonderful place, and I hope you all love it as much as I do.
Thank you, Peggy. Another candidate we have is Pam Williams. Pam, would you introduce yourself? You can. Wherever. Your choice.
Hi, I'm Pam Williams, and I've lived in the community over 7 years. And as Peggy has said, and Peggy said, it is a great place to live. When we first looked, we went, a mobile home, we were looking for a stick-built house, and we just happened to drive by after we'd been all day with the realtor and went, I'm discouraged. I don't know where we're going to live. Anyway, Margaret twisted my arm also to run. But the board has done phenomenal work since we've moved here. And I felt that I wanted to be part of that board and see if we could even continue to go on with this. It is a great place, and I would appreciate your votes. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Our third candidate is Sue Smith. I should move out of the camera way. There you go. Good morning, Sue Smith here. I moved here from Utah, but I grew up in Illinois, and I've been in Mesa, Las Palmas Grand for 3 years. And in the last 2 years, I've brought my mother here. She lives with us. My son and his wife decided to move here from St. Louis. We then moved my brother-in-law from Dallas into Las Palmas Grand, and he lives 3 blocks from us. And this summer, I moved my best friend and her husband to Mesa, 2 miles away, and I'm in the process of moving her daughter, my friends, their daughter, to Mesa. So I really enjoy where I live, and I really enjoy Las Palmas Grand. The reason I'm running is because I want to give back. I see that this community does best when there's volunteers for different activities, and this is one place where I could volunteer. Now, I have to give Margaret applause. She didn't twist my arm. Peggy Marcone stepped on my foot. Very hard. I like the idea of management and residents getting together and in a nice atmosphere, getting to points and items that residents are feeling needing to be addressed. There's a lot of communities out there that will not do this. And I feel very grateful that we live in one that will accept us. And so I'm running, and I look forward to being on the board, and I look for your vote. Thank you, Sue. Thank you to all of our candidates. I'm really happy that that you have stepped up and volunteered. I do want to say, though, the nominations are not closed. We will accept any other candidate nominations until the 10th of October. I have to close it off on the 10th of October because we're going to print absentee ballots and make them available on the website by the 19th of October. So people will have an opportunity to vote between October 19th and November 4th. Our election here is November 5th, but the absentee ballots have to be received by 5 p.m. the night before. There's no way to collect them up, in the morning. So I know that we have other elections going on in the community, but I'm hopeful that you will either come in person and vote or send us an absentee ballot and vote from home. And for you folks who are out there in YouTube land, you can get a copy of the ballot from the website, which is www.lpgra.org. And then the ballots will be listed. We have a tab there called Elections, and you'll be able to see the list of officers that are there, the responsibilities. I have those up here. If people in the room need one, I tried to put at least one on each table. But if you would like another one, feel free to come up to the front. So that's that. I'm sorry? Oh, yes. Thank you for that. To run for office on the board, you only have to be a homeowner. You don't have to live here full time. Walt Smiles, our treasurer, is out there in Michigan. So we have Zoom meetings with Walt. When we meet with management, we bring him in on Zoom so that he's still participating. We do a lot of work by email and text messaging. So that shouldn't be an impediment if you don't live here full time, but you want to be in the know and on the go with the board. So don't let that be an impediment. If you are a winter visitor, but you own your home, you are eligible to be selected and serve on the board. Any other questions about election or the board or anything like that? Okay. Dave mentioned briefly that we're looking to establish a newsletter. And we're going to start quarterly. Our initial goal was to do this monthly, but we figured that was too much, especially with the Lifestyles newsletter that comes out monthly. And we wanted this newsletter just to be good news about residents. Birthdays, anniversaries, who has a new grandchild, who just moved into the park. We're looking to maybe do a little profile on new residents who are moving in. Any happy thing that's happening, we want to go in the newsletter. And we've been making a call for this for a while now. But Shirley Ann Crane, and some of you may know Shirley Ann, she's out of town today, but I've spoken with her, and she has done a newsletter for the Hospital Guild in Eugene, Oregon. She's done that for over 3 years. She's very familiar. She's familiar with Publisher, which is the platform that we have set up a template for the newsletter. So she's familiar with that. And she's very interested in doing a newsletter quarterly. So we're happy about that. That's another, I think, accomplishment that we can put, in our little bag of accomplishments. And another way for us to communicate with you, the residents of LPG. So when Shirley Ann gets back, we're going to provide her email address and other contact information. And hopefully we'll have a newsletter January. That could start off, we could do it quarterly, January, April, like that. So we're looking for you to help provide articles. You don't have to write them. You just have to let us know what the news is, and Shirley Ann will put the newsletter together. Okay, the new website. We talked about the new website. And that's all I have on my agenda. That's amazing. Okay. So this part of the meeting is for resident comments. So and I'm sorry, folks on YouTube, there's no way for you to give us your comments or questions. But if you have something as a result of this meeting, send me an email, lpgraboard@gmail.com. Let us know, and we have time between now and next Thursday for our meeting with management to add your concerns to our agenda. Okay, so questions, comments, you have forms on the table that we've provided. We have some extra ones up here in case you don't have them or you don't have a way to print them from the website, something like that. We have paper copies up here. But this part of the meeting is for you. So if you have a comment, a question, a concern, we would ask you to raise your hand or step up to this microphone, tell us who you are, and then ask your question or relate your concern. Oh, now. Okay. Thank you.
I think you should join the board.
What was the website to subscribe for the YouTube again?
Channel. Okay, you know what? I didn't bring it. Sorry, because people I thought would be on there. I will send out an email. I did one email with the channel on it. I can send it again for those of you who didn't sign up. And what we would ask is you use that link, go there. You'll see the thing that says coming next LPG Resident Association meeting. And there's a little box that says subscribe. We want you to click that and subscribe. That's the only way you're going to get the recorded version of this meeting. So if you have friends that haven't been here, or even folks who are out there in YouTube land, if some of your neighbors or friends didn't get in to this meeting, they can see the recap of the meeting by subscribing. The other thing, you folks who are watching us, you will see under the screen, oh, great, okay. Under the screen, you'll see a thumbs up and a thumbs down. We would like you to hit the thumbs up. Yes, please. What that does is says that this channel is a good channel to watch. It doesn't mean you agree with what we've said or what's gone on at the meeting. It means it's a good channel to watch. If you give us a thumbs down, we would be very unhappy. So what can I say? Thumbs up, please. Okay, Peggy just gave me the link. Are you ready to write it down? HTT, P like Peter, S like Sam, : / U, YOU, TU.BE/ Wait, it went away. It went away. Get it back for me, please.
This is bigger. If you
Okay,
want to do it with this.
well, yes, it went away.
Oh,
So you have BE/ M _Y capital D.
Margaret,
Yes.
I'm sorry. That link is only for today's specific.
Oh, sorry about that. Forget it. Forget it.
So, what's gonna happen is, all the folks, right now, folks, we got 27 people watching.
Yay.
Very good. So, go home, and what you're looking for is go to the original link that you have in your email. Once you subscribe, then you have access to the Las Palmas Activities web YouTube page.
Great.
And then every week or every month that we're gonna do this, you'll see a pop-up that says coming at 9:10, 9:15, whatever. There's also the ability for you to have it remind you. So if it's a week away, you can tell it to remind you an hour ahead of time, hey, it's coming up so I can watch it live.
So they'll
So
need
the
this.
biggest thing you're looking for is the Las Palmas Activities. That's our YouTube channel. And it may take the original link that Margaret has sent out, because right now we're private and we're unlisted, we're not public. So if you go to the original link, you'll have access to it. Once you subscribe, you'll see the stuff that we put on there. I didn't mean to take over.
That's fine. I appreciate that. Use the original link that was in the email that I sent you. And if you don't have that, I will give it to you in person after the meeting, okay? You're on the email list. Check your junk. Because it comes from, it comes from RA.LPG something, something, something. So it doesn't come from me, it doesn't come from the board, it comes from RA, which is Resident Association. That's the way the Google group sends out those emails. So look in your junk if you didn't get it and you're sure you're on the list, okay? And if you don't know if you're on the list, write to us at lpgraboard@gmail.com, and we'll make sure you get on the list.
It all sounds complicated, but once you've done it.
Yeah, that's it.
Very easy.
Yeah. Okay, so, no questions, no further questions? Okay, now here comes the exciting part. 50-50. Where?
Pat and Joanne.
No? Okay, Dave's gonna do the 50-50.
Oh, I'm such a.
How much money you got?
Yeah, what's the word?
$99.
Oh, I better just back over here in the corner.
You can't draw your own ticket.
Oh, no. It ends in 33. There you go.
164, who has 164?
There you go, Dave.
And 133. So 133. All right. There we go.
You saw it, Grandma. There you go,
Don't spend any one picture. Okay, great. You know, folks, the more people who show up, the bigger your pot, right? Okay, so encourage your friends next time. But congratulations, Cheryl. Don't spend it all in one spot, okay? Sharon Hauser, who's our second vice president, is going to award the door prizes.
And I'll have to tell you, it took me forever to get these free. Unfortunately, I didn't get them free. 164157.
All right.
All right.
Dairy Queen.
There's also a little coupon in there for a free blizzard. 164148.
Oh, that must be mine.
Oh, imagine that.
148?
Don't be shy.
Close, but no cigar.
Well,
What, last call for 148. Everybody look at your ticket. There's gotta be somebody out there. Going.
Oh, wait a minute, there's. Oh, okay. We'll call another one.
All right.
Oh.
Somebody gets another.
164168.
Oh! Fly's grocery store.
We'll wait till Dave gets back up here. Okay, our final one, 164152.
What is this? Black Rock?
Black Rock.
Black Rock Coffee. Or tea.
okay, that was exciting. Okay, so we will do door prizes at every meeting. So it's helpful if you buy a 50-50 ticket because that will help us buy the door prizes. If you know a small business that would be willing to donate, like a $5 gift card or a free lunch or something. We want to support local businesses. So if you know someone like that, let us know. And we will contact them and see if we could get a donation, because it would help us more if we got a donation instead of having to buy the cards. But we'll do that. We'll do whatever. So thank you all. If there are no further questions, comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Thank you, Sharon. Second, doesn't need a second. All in favor? Let's go. Okay, opposed? Abstained. All right, great. Thank you, everyone, for our first live stream meeting.